In this video, I'm going to go over the Reformatsky reaction and Claisen acylation. For the Reformatsky reaction, we're going to start with an alpha haloester and an aldehyde or ketone. In the presence of zinc, the alpha haloester will form a Grignard-like intermediate from which an enolate will form here. And the enolate will attack the carbonyl center of the aldehyde or ketone and ultimately form the beta hydroxy ester. For the Claisen acylation, we start with any ester with an alpha hydrogen. And under basic conditions, that alpha hydrogen will be taken off and form an enolate similar to the one we had with the Reformatsky reaction. But the enolate here will be formed using that alpha hydrogen rather than the halogen. And will then form a beta keto ester. The mechanism for the Reformatsky reaction begins with a metal or metal salt attacking the alpha carbon of our haloester, and that halogen leaving that carbon, as well as our halogen attacking the zinc. And that forms the Grignard-like intermediate from which an enolate will form. And the carbonyl oxygen will attack another Grignard, the zinc of another Grignard-like intermediate that the reaction will form. And then our enolate will attack the carbonyl center of the ketone or aldehyde that's in our starting material. And that the carbonyl oxygen of that starting material will attack the zinc of our ester over here. Then here we're left with our oxygen still bound to the zinc and bromine, and our oxygen will attack a hydrogen. In order to neutralize the positive charge on our oxygen, the bromine will take away zinc and we'll ultimately get our beta hydroxy ester. The mechanism for the Claisen acylation begins with the base attacking the alpha hydrogen on our ester and forming an enolate here. The attack of the enolate on our carbonyl center of an ester is initiated by the negative charge on this oxygen coming down and reforming the carbonyl. We're then left with a negative charge on this oxygen, which also comes down and reforms a carbonyl, kicking off the OET. We're then left with a beta keto ester from the Claisen acylation. This is one of the reactions I used for my literature assignment. And here we have an alpha carbon that attaches to a carbonyl center here, forming our final product. So you guys have to name this reaction, whether it's a Reformatsky or Claisen acylation.